Hi, Andrew Bell with you as we enter the second last month of the year, and I'll tell you I'm a very bright and glary location and a noisy one as well. As I provide you with some interesting news and information this week, I'm actually coming to you from 383 Southport Nerang Road, Molendinar. Now this property is a prime piece of real estate. It's on a big corner position, 3,560 square metres of land, and it's prime land. It's been leased to two wonderful tenants. First, BP service station here behind me, and just to my right, your right, is the fast food chain Carl's Jr. on a 10 to 15 year lease between the two of them, with options beyond that. Now, we have so many people contacting us and clamouring for great investments because they just, as they all tell us, can't get a good return on money on fixed deposits. And of course, the stock market's been in some steady decline and been volatile for quite some time. This really is a great commercial investment. Now have a good look at the video as I share some of this interesting information with you. Our new Reserve Bank Governor, Michelle Bullock, in her most recent speech, said that the Reserve Bank's research is showing that renters, ready for this, are better off than they were 2 years ago, despite high inflation, putting up the cost of living, and rapidly rising rents. And the reason for that is strong employment and income growth has shielded people from the worst of the cost of living crunch. Now, I'm sure many will want to argue with that, but the Reserve Bank's research is rarely inaccurate. Now, on the other side of the coin, despite rising rents, we just haven't seen a rise in new investors entering the market in any great numbers. Every week, we see a decline in the number of landlords in the marketplace due to sale because of all sorts of factors. That decline sees us with 15% less rental properties than there were just 3 years ago. Now, what may encourage more investors into the market is a forecast off the recent modelling that is showing the impact of massive undersupply of dwellings. And that research is showing there will be a surge in rental rates over the next 5 years, with an expectation of rental rises of 7.6% year on year. Now that modelling showed that in 2013 there were just 4 precincts in Australia that have had average rents of over $600 per week for 2-bedroom apartments. But by June of this year, that had grown to 20 precincts. And by 2028, not far away, the forecast is that that will be 38 precincts. That will place over 70% of Australia's 2-bedroom apartments with a rent exceeding $600 per week. And of course, that's reflective of the whole rental market. Now, this surge in rents will put investors who already own apartments in great positions to boost their returns. And of course, as well as picking up the capital growth that goes with owning a rental property. Now, to add to the pressures on the rental market, we also see that it was estimated that in September this year, immigration had passed a record 500,000 people, and that was with 3 months of the year still to go. Now that's extraordinary growth and above expectation. Now a good proportion of this was international students and working holiday makers who all need rental accommodation. And of course, at the same time that we see this massive population growth, we see that Australia came in as the second worst in the world for not building enough homes for people. In fact, we're only beaten by New Zealand, who took out the honours as the worst in the world for not building enough properties. Since the mid-1990s, the number of homes per 100 people has remained stable. At the same time, average household size has actually declined. In most other countries around the world, the number of dwellings per 100 people has actually increased significantly. This has been the key to keeping them far more affordable for both renters and buyers. Now, demographics are also changing. Half of all the households are now couples or singles without any children whatsoever. Fewer children, an ageing population, and more people living alone is driving up the number of homes we need. This problem is further accelerated by the population growth I mentioned earlier in this report. Now, while the rest of the world has been building more homes per person, this demographic I just shared with you also, as this unfolds, Australia lags even further and further behind. The danger signs are everywhere. Now, based on the latest global data available in 2021, Australia has 41 homes per 100 people. That's compared to, say, France with 55.4 and Germany with 51.8. Now, pretty much every other measure fixes affordability at the margins, but in some cases does make it worse. We simply need to build enough homes where people want to live. And at this point in time, that is simply not happening. Now, for my regular viewers, you know I don't present homes unless they're exceptional. And I certainly don't present commercial unless they're exceptional. But this one truly is. There's so much demand for commercial properties at present. I thought it was important to showcase something as outstanding as this particular property. The property is going to auction on the 7th of December. And remember, it's got a healthy income of $537,000 net per annum, approximately. So for more information, details are on screen now of Jackson Ramo, who you will find is one of the most delightful people to do business with. You know, we've got so much demand for commercial properties at present, and with that rapidly growing population, we actually need to be building more, and we're not. So these sorts of properties are just continue to see higher and higher rents and higher demand for them. You've got two great tenants, big national tenants, so give Jackson a ring right now so you don't miss out. Now, I've got lots more to share with you in the weeks ahead before Christmas, so in the meantime, stay safe. And please remember how lucky we are. I know we all have lots of things happening in our own little world, but you see what's happening around the rest of the world. We're just so blessed to live in this gorgeous country and in this beautiful part of that gorgeous country. My warmest regards.